Another day, another story. John had always loved hiking in the wilderness. There was something about the solitude and beauty of nature that drew him in. He had been on many hikes before, but none of them compared to the one he embarked on one fateful day. This was the hike that would change his life forever. John set out early in the morning, excited for the adventure ahead. He had a map and a compass, and he felt confident that he could find his way to the peak he wanted to reach. The hike started off great. John made good progress, and he was able to enjoy the breathtaking views of the mountains and forests around him. He felt invigorated by the exercise and the fresh air. He took pictures, ate some snacks, and rested when he needed to. But as the day wore on, John started to notice that the trail was getting harder to follow. He saw some animal tracks that confused him, and he couldn't seem to find the landmarks he had expected to see. He thought he had taken a wrong turn somewhere, but he couldn't be sure. As the sun began to set, John realized that he was lost. He had never been lost in the wilderness before, and he didn't know what to do. He tried to retrace his steps, but he couldn't remember the way he had come. He tried to call for help on his cell phone, but there was no signal. John knew that he had to survive the night, so he looked for a place to shelter. He found a small cave and decided to make it his home for the night. He used his backpack as a pillow and tried to keep warm with the few clothes he had brought with him. The night was cold and uncomfortable. John couldn't sleep, and he was worried about his situation. He knew he had to find food and water if he was going to survive. The next morning, he set out to find them. Over the next few days, John had to improvise ways to survive. He drank water from streams and melted snow. He caught fish and small animals with his hands. He made a shelter out of branches and leaves. He built a fire with rocks and sticks. He used his hiking skills and his survival instincts to keep going. But as the days went on, John began to lose hope. He was exhausted, hungry, and scared. He thought he might never be found, and he would die alone in the wilderness. But then, something happened. One day, as John was wandering aimlessly, he heard a sound in the distance. It was the sound of a helicopter. He couldn't believe it. He had been rescued. The search and rescue teams had been looking for him for days. They found his car at the trailhead and followed his tracks. When they saw the smoke from his fire, they knew they were getting close. They had been looking for him from the air when they spotted him. John was overwhelmed with emotion when he saw the rescue team. He cried tears of joy and relief. He was exhausted and weak, but he was alive. He hugged the team members and thanked them for saving his life. John's experience had taught him a valuable lesson about the power of determination and survival instincts. He had been pushed to the limits of his physical and mental abilities, but he had never given up. He had used his skills and his willpower to stay alive. Thank you again for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll be sharing more helpful videos and information to help you stay safe and secure. Goodbye.